तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद. Thank you for joining us this morning. Inshallah, with Imam's help and mercy, we will continue with our Asul-e-Din Farman today. Let's start with Imam's blessed name, Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Hussaini Hazir Imam, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Alayul Qayyum, Ali Allah, Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Kareem Al Akram, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Kareem Al Akram, Al Akram, Al Akram, Al Akram, Al Akram, Al Akram, Al Akram. Ya Mulay Mehrban, तौफीक ताईद हिम्मत व यारी मौला तौफीक ताईद हिम्मत व यारी मौला या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा मौला मदद फरमा मौला या मौला हमारे करीब आ जा मौला अपने नूर से हमारी हिदायत फरमा मौला या मौला मेहरबान अपना मुबारक शफकत भरा हाथ हम गरीबों पर रख मौला ताकि हम इस रास्ते पर आगे बढ़ सके मौला या मौला मेहरबान मदद फरमा मौला मदद फरमाओ तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद असूल-ए-दीन फरमान viewer at this paragraph where Mullah guide us that in our deen the thoughts khyalat plays a role. There are just thoughts, then there are bad thoughts, and then there are ill concepts. Three kind of thoughts, just the thoughts. We all go through thinking process for our daily life, what we need to do and what we do not need to do, a planning phase we can say. Then there are bad thoughts. Those are the thoughts we need to not have. And the third one is the ill concepts. Not understanding tariqa, religion, Imam, Farman, Ginan, or understanding it but incorrectly. And that plays a huge role in our daily life, in our amal practice, our action, And Imam saying in this line that we should not have those useless, unnecessary thoughts. If you are having it, there is a way of fixing it. And we will come to that point at the end of this paragraph. यहाँ पर मौला हमें अपने ख्यालात के बारे में फरमाते हैं। सबसे पहले हमें पता होना चाहिए कि 3 किस्म के ख्यालात हैं। एक वो ख्यालात होते हैं जो हम अपने दिन भर में क्या काम करने वाले हैं या क्या क्या काम किया उसके बारे में होते हैं, ताकि हम अपने रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी के लिए कुछ प्लानिंग कर सके या वो काम कर लिए उसके बारे में सोच सके। दूसरे ख्यालात होते हैं जो बुरे ख्यालात होते हैं। किसी के बारे में किसी की गिला गिबत सुन ली, अब उसके बारे में हम सोचे जा रहे हैं। किसी को बुरा भला कह दिया या किसी ने हमें बुरा भला कह दिया, अब हम उसके बारे में सोचे चले जा रहे हैं और वक्त जाया करते हैं। और तीसरे जो ख्याल आते हैं वो उसको इल कॉन्सेप्ट कहते हैं, असूल दीन को ना समझना और ना समझी की वजह से ऐसी हरकतें करना जो मुनासिब नहीं है। और मैं इसकी मिसालें दूंगा जब हम इस पैराग्राफ को पढ़ लेंगे। स्पेशली यानी कि जब हम फरमान को नहीं समझते हैं तो उसके ऊपर जो हम विचार करते हैं, सोचते हैं, और वही सोच हमको गलत रास्ते पे ले जाती है, क्योंकि हमने फरमान को नहीं समझा, गिनान को नहीं समझा या दुआ को नहीं समझा या हमारी क्रिया को नहीं समझा, जिसकी वजह से हमारा जो तायुन होता है अमल का वो गलत होता है। So we will talk about ill concept as when we do not understand our principle of tariqa, then there is a chance that we will be thinking that we are correctly following, but actually we will be on the wrong path. And I will give some example of that. So let's read this one paragraph and then we will come back to it. Mullah says, दीन ये है कि झूठे ख्याल नहीं करना। खुदा ने तुम्हें पैदा किया है, तुम खुदा को सजदा करो तो उसमें खुदा को क्या फायदा। खुदा सिर्फ एक में नहीं, खुदा हर जगह है। खुदा को खुश करना बेहतर है। जब तुम्हारा दिल राजी रहेगा तब खुदा राजी रहेगा। This paragraph, that do not waste your time in useless thoughts. God has created you, and if you prostrate to him, what is there for him? God is not in one place, he is everywhere. It is better to make him happy. When you are happy, and which happiness? Spiritual happiness, then he is happy. So we will take this paragraph and we will start with useless thought, and you will see how this is tied to this ill concept. That if I recite my dua, Mola Baba will be happy. If I do sajda or tasbih, Mola Baba will be happy. And we are doing this just because we think that because Mola Baba said recite the dua and we are reciting the dua, so he should be happy. I mean, what else does he want from us? Remember when Mola Baba said, if, the word he used, if you recite dua, you must understand the meaning of the dua. Meaning of the dua, not translation. Not translation. How many of us know the meaning of the dua? And then Mullah says, if you do not know the meaning of the dua, it is better not to recite dua. But we keep reciting dua. Does that make Imam happy? Does that make Imam happy? That is ill concept because we think that we are reciting dua is making Imam happy. That is your ill concept. Imam want us to understand our dua, know the meaning, not the translation of our dua. And when you understand your dua, and then when you recite your dua, there is a connection. And because of this connection, you feel spiritually happy, and Imam is happy for you. Otherwise, reciting dua and giving sajda does not do anything for you, nor it makes your Imam happy. You see, that is a useless thought that we have because we are not understanding what Imam wants from us. What Imam wants from us. And then there are many who will argue that we should face this way and we should face this way. Kaaba is here and Kaaba is there. If we do not face this way, our dua will not be accepted. Do you think, again, ill concept, that Allah is in one place? Imam is in one place? That is your ill concept. Allah is everywhere. Wherever you turn, Allah is there. Those are the ill concept. Another example I wanted to give of useless thoughts. When we don't understand our farman, and when we don't understand our dua, and when we don't understand our ginan, some of the ill concept take place in our heart, and then we follow those. One of the ill concept that have taken root in our Jamaat is the concept of reincarnation. Because Ginan talks about it. There are some old Faramin have talked about it and definitely has talked about it. But those were the examples. We must learn our tariqah correctly. So our thoughts would be pure. And then our following would be correct. Because when we have ill concept, our following, our action are also incorrect. Because our understanding was incorrect. And the example I gave earlier that Mullah Baba said, recite 3 times dua, and we recite 3 times dua. What else does he want? He wants us to connect, to understand your dua. When you know the dua by knowing the meaning of the dua, you will connect with him and it will bring you happiness in your heart. And when you are happy, your Mola is happy. How many times after dua we feel that breath of happiness in us? We just pray the dua and we don't feel anything because we don't understand the dua. There is no connection. That is what Imam saying in this one paragraph of फरमान. क्या मौला ने फरमाया कि आप अपने दिमाग के अंदर से बेकार के झूठे ख्यालात को निकाल दें, और स्पेशली हमारे मजहब की जो समझ है, अगर उसके अंदर खराबी है तो आपके जो ख्यालात है वही आपको गलत चीजों के अंदर भटका देंगे, और जो चीजें हम दुरुस्त भी कर रहे होंगे उसमें कोई फायदा नहीं होगा. उसकी हमने मिसाल ली दुआ की कि हम दुआ पढ़ते हैं और समझते हैं कि मौला ने चूंकि फरमाया है हमको कि 3 टाइम दुआ पढ़ो तो मौला हमसे खुश होगा, जबकि मौला ने क्या फरमाया कि अगर अगर आप दुआ पढ़ते हैं तो उसके मानी जाने और मानी जान कर दुआ पढ़े. फिर मुला फरमाते हैं अगर आपको दुआ के मानी नहीं आते हैं तो आप दुआ ही ना पढ़े. अब आप कहें कि आपकी दुआ और आपको मानी नहीं आती, उसका तर्जुमा आता है आपको. तर्जुमे की बात नहीं हो रही, इधर मानी की बात हो रही है. और अगर हमको मानी नहीं आते हैं और अगर हम दुआ पढ़ते हैं तो हम किसको खुश कर रहे हैं? ना तो आप उससे खुश है क्योंकि कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, और ना ही इमाम खुश है क्योंकि वो कनेक्शन नहीं था. जब हम दुआ के मानी को जानते हैं तो कनेक्शन बनता है, और जब कनेक्शन बनता है तो आपके दिल में रूहानी खुशी पैदा होती है, और जब आपके दिल में खुशी पैदा होती है तो इमाम भी आपसे खुश होता है. यहां पर ये बात हो रही थी. और दूसरी चीज जो नाचीज ने अर्ज की कि कभी कभार ना समझी की वजह से हमारे जो अमाल होते हैं वही हमको उल्टे सीधे रास्ते पे ले जाती है. हमारे तरीके के अंदर, हालांकि हमने हिंदू मजहब को छोड़े हुए 600-700 साल हो गए, लेकिन हमारे अंदर जो हिंदू मजहब के कॉन्सेप्ट बैठ गए हैं वो हमारे दिल से निकलते नहीं है. हम हिंदू से इस्माइली तो बन गए लेकिन मुसलमान कभी भी नहीं बने. हम अभी भी दिल से हिंदू है, नाम से इस्माइली है, क्योंकि रीइंकार्नेशन का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो हिंदू कॉन्सेप्ट है, इस्लामिक कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है. और इसकी वजह से हम आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रहे हैं क्योंकि हमारे जो गलत विचार है उसने हमको गोल गोल घुमाया हुआ है और हमको आगे नहीं बढ़ने देता है, जबकि इस्लाम और इस्माइली तरीका आगे बढ़ने का नाम है, सिरातल मुस्तकीम का नाम है. हिंदुइज्म गोल गोल घूमने का नाम है. आपने देखा हमारे ही गलत विचार हमको गोल गोल घुमा रहे हैं, जबकि इस्लाम और इस्माइली तरीका सिरातल मुस्तकीम का नाम है, और सिरातल मुस्तकीम पे आगे बढ़ना होता है, गोल गोल नहीं घूमना होता है. देखा कितना छोटा सा लेकिन कितना यूजफुल थॉट है. चूंकि हम नहीं समझ पाते हैं इसकी वजह से अमाल करने के बावजूद भी हम गोल गोल घूमते हैं. और यही मौला फरमाते हैं कि यूजलेस थॉट्स, बेकार के थॉट्स, झूठे ख्यालात आपको आगे नहीं बढ़ने देते हैं. Alright, let's come to the next paragraph. जब तक तुम दुनिया में कैद हो, जब तक तुम दुनिया में कैद हो, उस वक्त तक राजी ना होना. खुदकुशी करके तुम्हारी रूह कैद खाने से निकल जाए, ऐसा नहीं है. अगर मर गए तो फिर आगे बड़ा कैद खाना है. एक कैद खाने में से दूसरे, फिर तीसरे वगैरह. अपनी रूह को खुदकुशी करके आजाद करना, उसमें क्या फायदा. Now this is a touchy subject Imam is talking about. That do not become happy until you are in the prison of this world. Because this world is like a prison. Only way you can become happy when you connect with him and become one with him, become free with him. Free with him. When your soul is free, that is the only time to be free. And you cannot achieve that by suicide or killing yourself. That is not how. You do not even have to die to be free. You can live in this world and have the freedom and happiness if you have connected with your Mola. If you are carrying the burden of this materialistic world, you are not free. And suicide will not help you either. The physical death does not help you. What you need to do is to make sure that your soul is free of this material world. Meaning your thoughts, your mind, your love, your connection is all for your Imam, for the freedom of your soul. And that only can be achieved if you understand your tariqah and your actions are correct on following your tariqah. All these years of talim, ilm, lectures, practice is useless if we do not practice with correct understanding. If you don't understand, ask and then follow. If you listen to this lecture hour after hour after hour for years and years and never follow, what is the use? What is the use? Inshallah, you are Mu'min. You are logical, intellectual people. You will not waste your time in the ill thoughts and ill concepts. And just dying or forcefully dying like suicide will not take you to the freedom. Matter of fact, you will be in even bigger trouble, prison than today, than before. आपने देखा, अगर हम अपने मजहब को नहीं समझते हैं तो ये साला साल की जो हम मेहनत करते हैं, इल्म लेते हैं, इल्म सुनने के लिए आते हैं, इल्म समझने के लिए आते हैं, तो उसका क्या फायदा. अगर हमने कभी भी उसकी प्रैक्टिस नहीं की। क्यों प्रैक्टिस नहीं की? क्योंकि दुनिया ने हमारे दिल के अंदर घर किया हुआ है। दुनिया ने हमारे दिल और दिमाग के ऊपर कब्जा किया हुआ है, जबकि हमारा दिल और हमारा ध्यान इमाम की तरफ होना चाहिए, हमारी रूह की आजादी के लिए होना चाहिए। लेकिन हमने जाहिरी चीजों को अहमियत देकर हमारी रूह की आजादी को भूल गए हैं। अब जब परेशान हो गए और अगर अपने आप को मार भी डाला तो कोई फायदा नहीं होने वाला है, बल्कि हम उससे ज्यादा मुसीबत में आ जाएंगे, क्योंकि हम उससे भी बड़ी एक केस के अंदर, जेल के अंदर चले जाएंगे, और ये केस करना उससे भी बड़ा है। रूह को खुशी और आजादी नहीं मिलेंगी, जबकि हमारा ध्यान रूह की आजादी, फॉर द फ्रीडम ऑफ द सोल होना चाहिए। You do not know what your elder were. The translation is not that well. Let me translate. You do not know how your elders received their salvation, or how your elders work hard to receive this freedom. Mullah says, you do not know. उर्दू में, तुम्हें मालूम नहीं कि तुम्हारे बुजुर्ग कैसे थे। पहले के जमाने में उमर खयाम एक सुन्नी शरीयती काजी था। उसके हाथ में किताब थी, हाथ पांव धोने की बेकार बातें करता था। इस तरह हाथ पांव धोना ये खुद को नजम बनाने के बराबर है, और ये नजम का क्या का काम है, ऐसा उसको महसूस हुआ। यहाँ शायद ये वर्ड हजाम है। इसके बाद उसने आस्ते आस्ते खुदा के इल्म के मुतालिक ख्याल किया। फिर नासिर खुसरो के साथ उसकी दोस्ती हुई। नासिर खुसरो की दोस्ती होने के बाद उमर खयाम आस्ते आस्ते मेहनत करके अपने दर्जे पर पहुंचा। वो हमेशा हयात है। वो अपनी किताब में लिख कर गया है कि मैं हमेशा हयात हूँ। Alright, let's do the translation of this. You don't know how your elders, meaning people before you, worked hard on becoming free, totally free on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Imam gives one example. In earlier time, there was a man named Umar Khayyam. He was a Sunni and Shariati alim, Qazi. He always would have a Quran in his hand, a book in his hand. And he used to talk uselessly about washing and doing wuzu, hand and legs. And he thought just by washing and doing wuzu, his hands and leg, he has become pure. And the word was hajam. That is the job of a barber. In English, it does not make too much sense. Hajam is the criticism in Urdu word. That hajam, what does hajam do? He just cut the hair. He does not mean to do anything to you. You said to cut my hair, he cuts your hair. If you ask him to do shave, he shave your face. He has no other business in your in your thoughts or in your action. There's a criticism in Urdu word. It does not make too much sense in English. But you understand, just washing your hand and feet does not purify you. Washing your heart and especially your thoughts will help you. So Umar Khayyam used to be a Shariati. And you will find many of our brothers and sisters in our Jamaat running after this useless thought that how come we don't do wuzu? It is not the washing your hand and feet that will bring you closer to Imam. It is washing your heart and your thoughts that brings you closer to your Lord. That is a useless talk. Useless talk. ये हजाम वाली बात हो गई, बेकार की बात है कि हम हाथ पांव धोएंगे तो हम खुदा के करीब हो जाएंगे. बेकार की बात है. And then he met Nasir Khusro, the Hujjat Khursan. Hujjat, the word Hujjat in our language meaning Peer. Hujjat Khursan, the Peer of the Greater Badakhshan. He met Peer Nasir Khusro, Hujjat Khursan. And then he developed himself in the ilm. And gradually, by learning, and that's the important part, because now that he understood what is important and what is the fact about ilm, he was able to reach to his destination. As all the ill concept, so which ill concept he had? He thought wuzu will bring him closer to Allah. That was his ill concept. When he removed that ill concept with ilm, and sadly, Ismaili tariqah, we have all the ilm of the Imam. And then when a Ismaili talks like that, then we need to do wuzu. Physical cleanliness is important for your body, but does not do anything for your soul. Physical cleanliness is important for your physical body, but what does it do for your soul? It is the purification of the heart and the purification of your thought that will bring you to your Lord. So he learned as you are learning today. He understood as he understood, and he reached to his destination, and so can you. And he became one with Imam. He became Fanafi Imam. As Imam is always present in this world, he also is always present in this world. You see that? When you free your soul, and if you become one with the Imam, as Imam never dies, he is always present in this world, you will remain alive always with Imam. Free your soul and become one with Imam. Now, let's go to next paragraph. Very interesting paragraph about bandagi. What is the meaning of bandagi? What is the meaning of bandagi? Let's see what Mullah says here. Does it mean to cross your leg and sit quietly? Is that the meaning of bandagi? Or does bandagi means to fasten yourself in the serving or slavery? बंदगी बंदा गुलाम से उसका रूट है. बंदगी मीन्स गुलामी, डट कर गुलामी करना. बंदगी मीन्स be fastened in your submission. Does everyone understand this? If not, ask again. Bandagi means fasten yourself in submission. Ibadat has the same meaning. Ibadat, submit yourself. Bandagi, fasten yourself in submission. Ibadat, submit yourself. Has the same meaning. Bandagi, ibadat is not about just sitting and not doing anything. Do you totally submit yourself to your Lord? That is the meaning of ibadat. Total submission. Let's read this paragraph. बंदगी का क्या मतलब है? बंद यानी कि इंसान के पांव बांध दिए जाएं. आबिद यानी कि गुलामी. बंदगी का मतलब है अपने आप को मुकम्मल तौर पर खुदा के लिए पेश कर देना, खुदा की गुलामी में. यहां पर सबमिशन यानी कि अपने आप को इमाम के लिए पेश कर दो. खाली इबादत में आकर बैठ जाने की बात नहीं है. यहां पर मुकम्मल आजिजी और अपने आप को इमाम के सुपरूद कर देने की बात है. अगर आपको ये बात समझ में नहीं आई तो दोबारा से पूछ लेना. बंदगी और इबादत का मतलब है अपने आप को मुकम्मल तौर पर इमाम के लिए पेश कर देना, तन मन और धन से. ये मतलब है इबादत और बंदगी का. इबादत यानी कि गुलामी, आबिदुल्लाह यानी कि खुदा का गुलाम. वो तुम्हारा गुलाम हो, ये कहना. I submit myself to you. That's what Abdullah means. I am your gulam. I submit myself to you. वो बहुत सालों से तुम्हारी बराबर खिदमत करे तो क्या तुम उसको आजाद नहीं करोगे? अगर तुम्हारा गुलाम हो और वो बहुत साल से तुम्हारी बराबर खिदमत करे तो क्या तुम उसको आजाद नहीं करोगे? तुम्हारा कोई गुलाम हो और वो अच्छा आदमी हो और वो हमेशा तुम्हारी खिदमत करता हो तो तुम उसके लिए क्या करोगे? If you had a slave who submit to you totally and serve you perfectly, will you not be happy with him and free him? Would you not be happy with him and free him? What would you do for him? He will not be happy if you just give him money. He will be happy if you free him. Now there is a lesson here. It's not about a slave and a master. What Imam is saying, that if you do bandagi and serve and submit yourself to the Imam totally, he will free you. Because if he just gives you some money, a worldly happiness, that is a temporary. You will not be happy with that. What you want is salvation, total freedom. That is what you're looking for. And that's what you want, to be Fanafi Imam. Now, I'm sure some will be happy with money and physical resting, physical happiness. There will be some like that. But a Mu'min is looking for salvation, total freedom. He wanted to be Fanafi Imam. So giving him money will not make him happy. Giving him spiritual freedom will give him happiness. आप समझिए इस बात को कि अगर हम दुआ बंदगी इबादत करते हैं और उसके बदले में मौला हमको पैसे वाला बना देता है, तो हो सकता है कि कुछ लोग इससे खुश हो जाएं, लेकिन हकीकी मोमिन इससे खुश नहीं होता है, क्योंकि हकीकी मोमिन को रूहानी और अक्लानी खुशी चाहती है, और वो रूहानी और अक्लानी खुशी फनाफी इमाम होने से आती है, आजादी से आती है। जब तक वो दुनिया में पैसों और दुनिया के अंदर फंसा हुआ है, वो खुश नहीं होता है, वो खुश नहीं होता है। उसकी खुशी आजादी से है। As long as you are in this world, in materialistic world, that will not make you happy. But while you are living in this world, if you are close to the Noor of the Imam, Fanafi Imam, that will make you happy, and that is the purpose of इबादत बंदगी। और यही इबादत बंदगी का मकसद है कि हम आजादी को पाएं और इमाम में फना हो जाएं। So let me stop here. Inshallah, we will continue from this paragraph forward from this page. Inshallah. Ji, let's open the floor for questioning.
Ji, Subhanallah, sir. Thank you very much for explaining this, Farman. There's just one line of it, about the ill concept, about the useless thought is so much, powerful that the useless thought that Imam is talking about is actually also ill concepts that we have in our mind, and that has, become prison. We are prison in that useless thoughts, and we can purify our heart and purify our thoughts in that way. You know how Peer says that kapda dhove so kya hua, dil dhove so pave. So dil dhove is also the purification of heart and purification of thoughts by taking out those ill concepts. So subhanallah, thank you, sir. Friends, if you have any questions or comments, please put in the chat box, or you can raise your hand if you want to speak directly with sir.
Yeah, and I like your comment, Ferial, that it is really hard to read more than 2-3 paragraphs because there is so much ilm to be understood in each line and each word of this. I mean, if I would have a chance, I would talk to each one of those friends who have been reading and going to Farman class. And I would ask them, tell me honestly, did you ever understand this one line of Farman? useless thought. Because when we don't understand, we just circling around and around. But this one line of thought can make us free, take us to the freedom we are all seeking. Thank you for that comment. I love that if everyone learn and understand the Farman correctly, because just reading Farman doesn't do it. Understanding Farman correctly is very important so we can walk forward and move forward. Because when we don't understand, we are just going around and around. Gee, thank you.
Yali Madad, sir.
Subhanallah.
Yali Madad.
I have a humbly request. Would you be posting this for months so I can read and listen to your lecture to understand it better?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, this Farman was posted earlier, but absolutely we can do it again.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Gee.
Sir, I don't see any comments or questions in the chat. Looks like friends are, we are all thinking, pondering on this, one sentence also. And also how you explained about the bandagi and ibadat, that is like so fascinating that, we have to submit ourselves, like tana, mana, dhana, gurne, arapana kijiye. So that also made us it's like eye opening that how we just feel like we just go 4 to 5 and sit in the bandagi, and we are performing our bandagi. It's of course that is necessary in a shariati point, but in understanding the submission part of it, so thank you very much for explaining that too.
Yeah, not only submitting, but total submission is required. Total submission. Tan, man, and dhan. So some can do tan, but they cannot do man. Meaning they do the action, but man is not there because they don't understand. And some can do man, but they cannot do dhan because money is so sweet. I cannot let go of my money. Meaning materialistic world. I cannot let go. Total submission is required. G.
So, sir, in that we can also understand about giving away our ill concepts, like submitting our ill concepts and ready to open our heart and accept the true knowledge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because without ilm, just imagine in our modern world, without GPS, we will be lost. Just like that, in Tariqa, without ilm, there is no direction. There is no GPS. Where are you going? You're gonna go. You're gonna be making circles. You will not be moving forward. Ilm, ilm, ilm. That's what Imam says. Ilm, ilm, ilm. G.
Friends, if you have any
Yalimadad,
questions,
Yalimadad, sir.
Yali Madad.
सर आज आप जो समझाए ना सर, आज़ादी मतलब ये फरमान इतनी बार पढ़े हैं, समझे हैं कि आप आज़ादी, आज़ादी की आप इच्छा करना, कि वो आप जो भी समझाए ना कि जब आप सच्चे दिल से सबमिट करेंगे, ओबीडियंस करेंगे, स्लेवरी करेंगे, तो सबसे बड़ी गिफ्ट जो अपने को मिलती है एक स्लेव को, कि उसकी जो पसंद होती है कि वो फ्री हो जाए, बाकी कोई चीज उसको खुश नहीं कर सकती है। लेकिन ये चीज में जो आप समझाए ना सर कि कैसा ये कंसेप्ट या अपने यूजफुल मतलब यूजलेस थॉट्स होते हैं, और वो जब अपने निकल जाते हैं इलम से, और वो जो खुशी और आजादी है वो भी एक छोटी आजादी है ना सर। वो मतलब आजादी भी दरज्जे में है, तो छोटे छोटे ये कंसेप्ट से जब हम बाहर निकल के जो हमको खुशी मिलती है, या जब हम समझ के कोई भी क्रिया करते हैं या एथिक्स करते हैं और वो जो खुशी मिलती है, वो भी तो एक बहुत बड़ी रिवार्ड और गिफ्ट है, ऐसा समझ में आया सर। शुक्र सर, सही है ना सर?
मौला खुद ही एग्जाम्पल देते हैं कि देखो उमर खयाम क्या किया, उसने इल्म हासिल किया और रफ्ता रफ्ता वो आजादी को पहुंचा। एवरीथिंग इज ऑन अ पैथ, राइट। रफ्ता रफ्ता वो आजादी को पहुंचा, एकदम से नहीं पहुंच गया। ऑफ कोर्स वो रफ्ता रफ्ता पहुंचा था, आस्ते आस्ते पहुंचा था। जी।
थैंक यू सर, शुक्र अल्लाह। थैंक
और आपने दूसरी बात जो कही आपके इस स्टेटमेंट में कि जिस तरह मौला इसी फरमान में आगे आता है कि पीर सदरुद्दीन अक्लमंद थे, वो आजादी के रास्ते पे चले थे। देखें यहाँ पर कि पीर सदरुद्दीन अक्लमंद थे, वो आजादी के रास्ते पे चले थे, वो एक जगह पे बैठे हुए नहीं थे। तो यही वो पीर सदरुद्दीन थे जिन्होंने हमें हिंदू से इस्माइली बनाया, आजादी का रास्ता दिखाया, लेकिन फिर हम उधर ही बैठे रह गए। आज भी हमारे दिल में हिंदुइज्म छुपा हुआ है, समाया हुआ है, हम अभी भी उधर ही बैठे हुए हैं, हम वहां से उठ नहीं पा रहे हैं किसी वजह से। जी।
Subhanallah, thank you, sir. Sir, friend is asking, what does opening the soul means? Opening the heart, opening the soul means.
Right. Let me give you an example, maybe it'll help you. So when we come to these classes, what have you done compared to those who say, I know everything, I don't need to learn anything. Why do I need to listen to all this? I know everything. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Just say your 3-time dua, give the song, and forget about everything else. Compared to you, what are you doing? You have opened your heart to the ilm. You are listening, learning, and inshallah, you will practice. That is the opening of your heart. You are saying, I do not know, teach me. You open your heart. You are willing to learn. You have opened your heart. When you sit in ibadat, you also open your heart by saying what? I am nothing. Mola Bapa, come and help me. I'm nothing. Those who do not take ilm, you know what they are saying? I know everything, I'm everybody, I'm everything. There is no humility in them. That's why they cannot take the ilm. You have opened your heart by saying, I do not know, I want to learn. That is the example of opening the heart. Ji.
Shukr, alhamdulillah. Thank you, sir. Sir, we can take the raise hand. Kamaruddin, please unmute your mic.
Okay, Yali Madad,
Yali Madad.
this is a comment. This is in Gina and they say, Manne Maro, to Gurka, Tami Manne Maro, Raku Mara Tanarama. This is the comment I have for your man.
How do we mare manne? How do we do that? That's the question there.
You see, he will guide you when you sit down in the banki. Now, when you sit down and you do this and practices, he will guide you. Okay? And you have to, you have to have a knowledge. You got to understand it.
Okay, so let me ask another question. You haven't answered my first question yet. Let me ask you another question. that let's say we sit down in bandagi, but we have no concept of bandagi. Will he guide you? If your answer is yes, then we should never have any prophet, any
You,
imam, any peer, any dai, any teacher, because we don't need them. We just have to sit in ibadat and he will guide us.
this concept come from the peer. The peer is saying it. Okay, so you have to understand. You will
No,
be guided.
I
You
do
could
not
guide.
understand. Please make me understand.
So you know when you are sitting in the bandigi, okay, lot of thoughts are coming. Okay,
Mhm.
you know, and when the bad thoughts are coming, you do tobo.
All right,
Okay,
Mr. Kamaluddin, let me
yeah.
stop you here. So this is what I'm going to do. I know you do not want to ask question. Let me ask, because you said three things and there are three questions there. Number one, Mane mare tare sahibji male. How do I kill my man? There was a question there. There was a beautiful question. I don't know why you hesitating not asking the question. That's a beautiful question for us to learn from. How do I kill my man? How do I kill my carnal soul? How do I kill my want and wish? Let me give you a farman first. When you sit in ibadat, sit with humility. You cannot say, I know everything. Sit in humility. Second, this is not yours to take. This is not yours to take.
It is his to give.
Hold on. Let me finish. These are the three questions. It's opportunity to learn. Network has actually brought. So how do we kill our man? Number one, take your heart away from the materialistic world, because that is your man. That is your man wants. What does man want? Money, seat, name, bigger house, bigger car, more, and more. That is what your man wants. You need to kill your man, your carnal soul, your wants. Number one. Number two, you wanted to kill your man. You need to understand with your heart, it is not mine to take, but it will be given to me. Third, you kill your man. When we say, I know everything, you have closed your heart. When you open your heart by saying, I would like to learn, I do not know anything. You know what are the first step of Hudud-e-Din, hierarchy of ranks? First step is not to be a Momin. Momin is not a first step. Mustajib is the first step. When a Momin says, I do not know anything, I like to learn, he takes that first step. As long as we saying that we know everything, you are nothing. You are nothing, and you have not even taken the first step on the Hakiki Deen. And if you have not taken that first step on Hakiki Deen, how will you move forward? Because you have to take the first step. That's how we kill our man. And I told you three types. Your second question in your comments were, he will guide you. He will guide you. When he guides you, and if you do not understand his guidance, you know why? Because you have no ilm. If that was not the case, and I'm going to just give you all the example Imam Farman, not me. I have nothing. I'm going to teach you from Imam's Farman. इल्म वाली रूह दर्जा बदर्जा ऊपर जाती है. It is the soul which has ilm will rise step by step by step. If you have no ilm, Imam has been guiding. Imam has been guiding us. Look at this Farman, 100 years old. How come we are not Fanafi Imam today? How
This,
come we are not like Pir Sadruddin today? How come we are not like Pir Shams today? How come we are not like uh, Hazrat Isa today? How come we are not like angels today? How come we have not risen even higher than it today? Only
this,
one reason, and that is we are not understanding when He's guiding us because we did not take ilm, ilm. We did
that's
not
why,
take that part.
that's
The
why
third
we are,
question in your comment was there was third question that Peer has said that. And Peer has also said, Peer puchine chalwano. Ask your peer, meaning learn, learn, learn. So you know how to move forward. Peer puchine chalwano. So
this,
there were
this,
three questions hidden in your comment that
this
you
is
were
why,
not asking.
this is why we are asking the question. If
Thank
you
you.
don't know, you learn. Okay?
Absolutely.
If you ask about, you got to get a right teacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
you got to ask the right teacher. Okay? And
Shukran.
and you've been teaching us, and
Shukran Khalil.
that's why, so the people can understand. Okay? That these are the things you have to understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. If you had not asked this question, we would not have chance to learn. Thank you so much. G.
Thank you, Kamiruddin sir, for asking this question, because we all got helped understanding. So any question is good. Only the bad question is when you don't ask. I always understand that from sir saying this. The bad question is that when we don't ask is the bad question. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, friend is asking something, but I don't understand. I don't know if you can help me. फरमान में अबाव अजदद की बात हो रही है. किसकी बात? ये किसकी बात है?
I have no
अजदद.
idea.
Okay, sir. We'll pass that until the friend clears that. Sir, one friend has a comment that they had a wise in Jamaat Khana yesterday, and missionary Sahib was also saying that we all have these ill concepts because still we ask this question. The youngsters mostly ask this question: why do we have to ask from Hazir Imam, from Mawla, and not directly from God?
Okay. So let's say you are at I don't know what country you are living in, but I'm going to just assume you are living in a modern world somewhere, or even if you are not, when you go to market and if you wanted to have, let's say, medicine, who do you ask to help you get that medicine to you? Do you ask Allah? Say, Ya Allah, I want this medicine. Or do you ask the shopkeeper for the medicine? Of course, you're going to ask the shopkeeper for the medicine. Is there anything wrong with that? No, because that shows that you are intellectual person, because logically you wanted to ask someone who is closer to you. And we ask for the ilm through peer, through imam, to the nur of the imam. If you do not understand that asking imam is asking Allah, then that would be the first question I would ask. Because that other question has no sense whatsoever. Whatsoever. Second example, when you want money and you go to your parents, do you ask Mola Papa to send you money? You raise your hand and say, Mola Papa, send some money, and money drops. No, you don't do that. Where do you go? You go to your parents, because you said the children were asking the question. Or if you are a businessman, you go to the bank. Or if you are grown up, you go to your friend. That shows that Atiullah is Atiur Rasul, and Atiur Rasul is Atiul Ulil Amram Minkum. You cannot have a direct submission to Allah without submitting to Rasul. And you cannot submit to Rasul without submitting to the Imam. So asking Imam is asking Rasul is asking Allah. If you don't understand this concept, then the question is incorrect. Because that question, whoever was asking, was an incorrect question. There was not a correct question. This is how you ask question. Proper time, proper place, you ask proper authority. And Imam is Ulil Amr, the one with authority amongst you. That is the answer. That's why you're supposed to ask Imam. He is the Ulil Amr amongst you, the man with the authority amongst you. So read your dua, understand your dua. Atiullah wa atiu Rasul wa ulil amram minkum. Ji.
Ji, Subha. Go ahead, Haider bhai.
Sir, actually, it was me. I just put the comment there, so I'm going to read what I put there. I said people still have ill
Okay,
concept
no need
about.
to defend. No need to defend. It's okay.
But let me read the whole thing. So, I mean, actually, we had Wisen yesterday, and that's what I just put comment that people still have ill concept about Mola. Yesterday, Wisen came and said we get lots of people just ask one question. Even in dua, why we ask Mola, why not God? So this was just a comment that people still have ill concept about Mola.
Actually, if that was the comment from the missionary, so he was actually challenging the Jamaat to ask that question. So he would not have said that unless he wanted to draw our attention. Why don't you ask this question? Maybe that's what he was drawing our attention to. So I'm glad you posted this comment, and I'm glad that we got to learn from it. Thank you. Ji.
Subhanallah, sir, you really have so much way to make that comment in a question and to make us understand that. So even though
Shukran.
if I'm not reading it properly, probably, but you are taking it as a so much good way and explaining us. So thank you very
Shukar
much,
Mullah.
sir.
Shukar Mullah. Shukar Mullah.
Ya Ali Madad, sir.
Ya Ali Madad.
Same line of talking. A lot of people say, oh, in the Gnan it says, Bhore Mansrevo. Just follow whatever is told to you. And in that way, people sometimes don't reflect or learn or search. What is Bhore Mansrevo, please?
Right. Bore Mane means pure hearted. Okay, so first of all, Bora does not mean being stupid. Because only person who follows something without understanding is a stupid person, right? What Pir is saying, keep your iman, your heart, and your thought bora, meaning pure. And when you follow with your pure heart, you will be able to serve and your Imam, and you will be able to serve your own soul toward the salvation. So one of our teacher and one of our friend used to say, "Bora no matlab che pakizgi, na ke beokufi." See, that is another ill concept that we have. Bore mane several meaning, do not ask question. No, bore mano means follow with your pure heart, but learn so you can follow with your pure heart. Bora, pure heart. G.
Thank you, Aziz sir. Sometimes maybe people think, oh, it is not bore, but it is bole. And that is a misconcept of understanding the word, and then all those things come along. Thank you very much.
Subhanallah. Because remember, our peer will never will tell us not ask question. Because our peer taught us the Ginan. And Ginan is ilm. And our peer will not say anything which is against the Imam. Imam had asked us to ask question. Mullah Ali, ask me before you lose me. Mullah Bapa, ilm, 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 ilm. Every single Imam, learn, 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 learn. Every single Imam. So
Mhm.
peer has to be aligned with the Imam, right? So what peer is saying, have a pure heart, and with the learning, the Ginan, you will be able to move forward.
Yeah,
Ji.
Alimadad, sir.
Ya Ali Madad.
Sir, I would like to thank you from bottom of my heart. Just listening to you, your humbleness. I'm learning from you
Shukar
humbleness.
Mala.
You
Shukar
are
Mala.
so humbly explaining questions, so nicely and so humbly. Ah, thank Mullah. Thank you.
Shukar
Thank you
Mala.
so much.
Shukar Mala.
I'm
Shukar
learning
Abba.
from you the humbleness. Shukran.
Shukar Mala. It's all Mullahs. Nothing is mine. I'm Garib and Nachiz. Imam is great and most merciful.
So, Shukr, alhamdulillah, that is really was a good comment and good
Shukar Mala.
explanation.
Shukar Mala.
Sir, this is also a very good question. Friend is asking. In Farman, it is discussed about ancestors. Like Sultan Muhammad Shah Salvatullah alayhi says that તમને ખબર નથી કે તમારા વડવા કેવા હતા. So it's the same Farman that we just read today. I have Gujarati here, so I read that. So when Imam is, asking us to think about who were our ancestors. What, sir, if you can put some more explanation in this? Why Imam is? I mean, I should not say why, but what are we looking into it when we are thinking about our ancestors?
It is not about your or my ancestor. It's not. What Imam saying, look how Mu'mineen or people before you, how did they receive this salvation? And look at right after the line, Imam is giving an example of Umar Khayyam, who was Sunni Shariati. What Imam says, learn from the history. Same line of Farman Hazrat Imam has given. They learn from the history. So it's not about my ancestor or your ancestor. It's about the people before us. And three example comes in mind. Three example. Salman Farsi, fire worshipper. Pir Nasir Khusro, a Sunni scholar. Umar Khayyam, a Sunni Shariati. We are Ismaili. How come we have not reached to that status? What is blocking us? What is stopping us from reaching their status? Salman Farsi, Elibeth, a worshipper, become Elibeth. What is stopping you? That is what Imam saying. Why don't you learn and see how they did it? How did Salman Farsi did it? He completely submitted himself to Mullah Ali. Complete submission. How did Pir Nasir Khusro did it. He submitted himself to Mansur Yamani. He said, I will not say anything until you finish teaching me every single thing. And I will not stop until you finish teaching me everything. And he did not. Can you imagine? In 40 days only, 40 days only, he went from a Sunni scholar to a peer of Ismaili Tariqa. 40 days only. Why? What is stopping us? What is stopping us? What was the common between Salman Farsi and Pir Nasir Khosrow? They both were willing to learn. Salman Farsi said, I submit totally to you. Just teach me. Show me the path. He said the same thing. Pir Nasir Khosrow said the same thing to Fiddin Shirazi, Mafi. Fiddin Shirazi, Dai Fiddin Shirazi. That I'm here, teach me. See, that is the path they have taken. That is the elders Imam is talking about. Not our elders, not my forefather. Because I don't know if any of my forefather had reached to their level. So if I would learn from them, I would not learn too much, would I? Because, we are so garib and nachis. I'm sure my parents were also very poor in ilm and poor in ibadat and poor in action. So I'm looking at Salman Farsi. I'm looking at Pir Sadruddin. I'm looking at Pir Shams, Pir Nasir Khusro. I'm looking at them. How did they do it? So this here in this Farman, and clearly Mullah is not talking about our forefather. He's talking about the people before us. G.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, sir. So when Imam is talking about to go back in the history and read the history, these are the points that we should be looking into. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sir, a friend has this question, if we can explain the correlation between heart, man, nerves, atma, soul, all these terms.
All right. I would urgently request you to become a smiley first. Because all of the terms that you use are Hindu terms. But I understand your question and I humbly will answer that question. So first of all of those terms are not a smiley term. I want you to know that first. And I will urgently ask you to move and become a smiley instantly. So heart, soul, those are the two correct terms in our tariqa. Kalb, ruh in our language. Kalb and ruh. Kalb has two meaning. Heart has two meaning. In the Arabic, kalb has two meaning. In English, heart and mind. If you look at the heart and mind in Arabic, you will find one single word, and that is kalb. In easy language, dil. So what is saying that open your heart by opening your mind. When we say, why don't you open your heart and listen to me? It is not heart we are talking about. We are talking about our mind. Open your mind and listen to me. You see? So that now soul, ruh. All other things that you said, those are Hindu concept, and I'm not here. I'm not a Hindu teacher. I'm a smiley teacher. Soul. Soul has 3 stages. Now you are saying, okay, soul has 3 stages, okay, before it becomes a human soul. A carnal soul, a vegetative soul, and animal soul. All of those 3 are within ourselves. We have a carnal soul, we have a vegetative soul, we have an animal soul. We need to kill all those 3 so we may become the 4th one. The 4th one is we call human soul, but human soul has 3 parts. Is there more information than you were looking for? Human soul also have a 3 part. The rational soul, number 1, which is only tells you what is good for me. Rational soul, number 2. I'm talking about human soul, okay? Has 3 parts. Rational soul, number 2. That what is good for my family, my friend, my Jamaat. Rational soul, number 3. What is good for humanity? When we reach those rational soul, that makes us human. Now we have a 4th soul, human soul. But that's not enough. Now we are looking for higher soul than a human soul. That is called Ruhul Qudus, the soul of the Imam. We are trying to achieve the Imam's soul in us. How do we do that? Becoming one with the Imam. Those are the different stages. Maybe that's a great subject. I know Kyal been asking me to deliver a lecture on this subject for a long time. That how do we even understand and have a smiley Muslim vocabulary and thoughts? Inshallah, if you had any other question in that, I'll be more than happy to answer. G.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, sir. That was more than what we asked to just, about those terms, but you went more in detail and now we want to know more. So yes, we would like you to have a separate, session on the stages of souls. So thank you, sir.
Inshallah. And there is much, much more to learn. Imam's treasure box of ilm is amazing. That treasure box of ilm of Imam is amazing. Every time we talk, we will find something new. Inshallah. G.
So there is one question related to these soul stages. What is the relationship between the world of matter and spirit? And is ilm different for each? Is the rational soul part of material world?
Oh, there's a lot of question there. Okay. So how do I explain matter and soul in 2 minutes? How do I do that? Because that is a 1 hour lesson. All right. Soul is the hidden form of matter, and matter is the materialistic visible form of soul. उर्दू में समझा देता हूं. जिस्म रूह का जाहिर और रूह जिस्म का बातिन है. Matter is the physical form of soul, and soul is the spiritual form of matter. That's what I can do in 2 minutes about the matter and soul. Your second question is that what is the different in each one of them? The matter is temporary and changeable. Matter is temporary and changeable. Look at you and me. We are both have a body, but two different bodies. The soul is one and the same. We are all have come from one single soul. Soul is one, not changeable. Matter is body, temporary and changeable. That was the only thing I could do in 2 minutes. There was a third question there. Is the ilm different for matter and soul? Yes and no. Yes and no. There are information for the matter. For example, how to keep your body healthy, how to keep your body clean, how to keep your body look beautiful. See, that's the information. Now, the no part, no, ilm is one and the same. If you have the original and actual ilm, then you can apply that ilm to your mind, to your soul, and to your matter, your body. You see that? That's why I say yes and no. Okay. There was a fourth question there, and that was, does the rational soul is part of material world? Yes and no. Yes, because rational soul keeps you safe from the harm. So yes. No. Rational soul supposed to help you move forward spiritually and intellectually. That's why the rational soul is divided into three. One is called individual, one is called collective, and one is called universal. See, even rational soul has three stages. And those are more for your soul and mind than your physical matter. So I believe I have taken all your four questions in that small phrase that you given to us. G.
सर लास्ट पॉइंट प्लीज उर्दू में बोलिए ना सर, वो अभी जो आप समझाए लास्ट वाला पॉइंट।
अभी जो सवाल आया था कि मैटर यानी कि जिस्म और सोल के अंदर क्या फर्क है, रूह के अंदर क्या फर्क है। तो मैंने कहा कि ये तो बहुत बड़ा सब्जेक्ट है, 1 घंटे का। 2 मिनट में अगर मुझे समझाना हो तो मैटर जो है वो रूह का जाहिर है और रूह जो है वो मैटर का बातिन है। ये उसका आसान जवाब था। और ये दोनों चीजें जो हैं वो दुनिया में साथ साथ चलती है, लेकिन जो मैटर है, जो जिस्म है, वो टेम्पररी भी है और वो बदलती भी रहती है। जैसा कि हमारा, मेरा और आपका जिस्म अलग अलग होगा, मैटर अलग अलग होगा, लेकिन रूह एक ही होगी, क्योंकि हम तमाम लोग एक सिंगल नफ्सुन वाहिदा से आए हैं। तो सोल एक है और सोल तब्दील नहीं होती है, जबकि जिस्म अलग अलग है और वो तब्दील भी होते रहते हैं। कभी मट्टी में मिल जाते हैं तो कभी वो जिस्म की तरह होते हैं, कभी बीमार हो जाते हैं, कभी अच्छे हो जाते हैं, कभी खूबसूरत होते हैं, कभी खूबसूरत नहीं होते हैं। तो वो अलग अलग होते हैं। ये नाचीज इनको समझा रहा था। जी।
सर लास्ट वाला पॉइंट जो आप बोले ना, वो ह्यूमन सोल का कुछ 3 बोले आप, जिसमें यूनिवर्सल बोले, वो नहीं समझ आए मुझे लास्ट
जी,
वाला।
ह्यूमन सोल के 3 हिस्से हैं। हम जिसको इंसानी रूह बोलते हैं उसके 3 दर्जात है, 3 स्टेजेस है, और उसको लॉजिक के एग्जाम्पल कहलाया जाता है। यहाँ कि हमारी जो लॉजिक है, फॉर एग्जांपल पहले हमारी लॉजिक यह होती है कि मुझे लगेगा ना कोई चीज तो मुझे तकलीफ होगी, बस हमारी लॉजिक इतनी होती है, इससे आगे नहीं बढ़ती है। यानी कि आप बच्चे को बोलते हैं बेटा तेरे को लग जाएगा, तो वो क्या समझता है कि मेरे को लगेगा तो मुझे तकलीफ होगी, आपको लगेगा तो आपको तकलीफ नहीं होगी, क्योंकि उसकी लॉजिक नहीं होती है इधर। फिर जैसा वो छोटे से बड़ा होता है तो उसको पता चलता है कि नहीं, जो तकलीफ मुझे होती है वो आपको भी हो सकती है, मेरे भाई को भी हो सकती है, मेरी माँ को भी हो सकती है, और दूसरों को भी हो सकती है। तो वो डेवलप करता है ह्यूमन सोल को लॉजिक के साथ। फिर तीसरी लॉजिक अभी भी उसके अंदर नहीं होती है, और वो यूनिवर्सल लॉजिक होती है कि मेरे को जो तकलीफ होती है, मेरे लिए जो बुरा है, वो एक्चुअली पूरे इंसानियत के लिए बुरा है, पूरी इंसानियत के लिए बुरा है। और तब जाकर एक इंसान एक मुकम्मल इंसानी रूह बन जाता है, क्योंकि उसके अंदर तीनों लॉजिक आ जाती है। आप दुनिया में देखें, तमाम इंसान जो इंसान दिखते हैं इंसान नहीं है, क्योंकि उनके पास हमदर्दी नहीं है। हमदर्दी नाम की कोई चीज ही नहीं है, तो वो इंसान नहीं हो सकते हैं। क्योंकि इंसान तो वो होता है जो दूसरे के दर्द को अपना दर्द समझे, वो इंसान होता है। जी
थैंक यू सर, शुक्र अली अल्लाह सर, सुभान अल्लाह, थैंक
Sir, beautiful explanation. Thank you, sir. Sir, would you like to take one more question?
या लेट्स मेक दैट अ लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
Okay.
ओके,
Sir, friend is asking that um, in that case, what does Imam mean by the faith of your forefathers will enable you to live in peace? He specifically says forefathers. Does he mean Salman Farsi, Nasir Khosrow, etc.? But friend is asking, what does it mean when Imam is saying the faith of your forefather will enable you to live in peace?
all right, so this line here in this line has multiple meaning, multiple meaning. So first I wanted to give you a logical answer. For example, and God forbid, okay, for example, your father, your grandfather were not good people, or they were not even Ismaili, or they were Ismaili and then they changed their religion. Would your forefather will bring peace in you? Would it bring any peace in you? You see, that was the logical answer. Now, let me give you the other meaning of this farman. That as your forefather accepted Satpandeen Ismaili Tariqa, you will find Shadmani, peace in this Tariqa. So now you have both sides of it. I still want to tell you that, and I was using just my example because I don't know you. My family is so garib and poor. I don't have any peer in my family. I don't have any dai in my family. I don't have any alim in my family. I don't have any teachers in my family. I don't have any bhagat in my family. So how can my forefather religion can bring me peace? So I have to look at our peers, our dais, our imams. An example of Salman Farsi comes to mind. I have to look at them and say that they are my forefather. They are my forefather. Last answer. If you wanted to look in the Quran, in the story of Ibrahim, you will find that his forefather were ideal worshipper. God forbid, his father were not God or ideal worshipper, because he was Imam. See, when we don't have correct concept, we will lose always. So take that example from Ibrahim. Take my example and then take your example and take the example from this Farman. And when you do that, logically, it's not a hard question. Matter of fact, you yourself will be able to come up with the correct answer easily, logically, intellectually. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a, like an eye-opening thing, about our forefathers. We learned so much about it today. So thank you.
Shukran. Shukran.
Sir, I was also thinking about one other aspect in this, if you can allow me to speak.
Sure.
Sir, by looking to our forefathers, not my forefather, but forefathers Imam talking about, like Salman Farsi, Nasir Khusro, Pir Shams, when we look their life and compared to our life today, we are so like lazy and so materialist thing. We are, just living the life without any concepts, without any, so maybe when Imam is also like opening our eye and say that, hey, think about your forefather, how their life was. They were so hard working in their spiritual progress. They were working so hard and walking so fast in the spiritual progress. So hey, look your forefathers, and how you are sitting in a peace, and how you are spending your life. How can you just sit and not do anything? So maybe Imam झंझोलना चाहता है अपने को कि सोचो तुम्हारे
Absolutely.
forefather.
Yes, yes, I agree. Agree. Yep. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for great question and great session. Thank you so much. Yali Madad.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Yeah,
much.
Limited.
Yeah,
Thank
Limited.
Yali
you.
Madad.
Thank you.
Yali
Yali
Madad.
Mother, thank you.
Yali Madad.
Alhamdulillah.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
لمدى
يا لمدى thank you
Yali Madad. Yali
Narimangar.
Madad.
شكرا
Yali
الحمد
Madad.
لله
لازم.
Thank you very
Shukran
much.
Mala. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.